on GoSuffolkRams.com. From Boston, Massachusetts, welcome to Suffolk Sounds, the official show for Suffolk University Athletics. Hello and welcome to Suffolk Sounds. My name is Cam Brennan. You can follow me on Twitter at Cam_Brennan1. That's CAM_BRENNAN1. That's how you can find me and interact with me on social media. As for today's show, we have Suffolk head women's soccer coach Ashley Van Vechten. I sit down with Coach Van Vechten in an exclusive one-on-one interview, and that's what you can expect from today's episode. We give you fan access that you never thought you'd be able to get to. We'll have conversations with the people that matter to you. We'll get perspectives from those that have close ties to the Suffolk Athletic Department, and that's what you're going to hear just here on the Suffolk Sounds podcast. Now, with that being said, let's get back to Coach Van Vechten. Van Vechten enters her third season with the women's program. During last season, Van Vechten led the Rams to a 10-6 record and earning a home postseason game for only the second time in program history. Van Vechten picked up a GNAC Coach of the Year award in that same season. Today we'll discuss the influence of coaching styles, creating success within the Rams program, and what awaits the Rams in the CCC. This interview starts now. Coach Van Vechten, thank you for coming on the show today. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks so much for having me, Cam. It's a pleasure talking with you.
Absolutely. And before we get into the nitty-gritty about the Rams program and your history to how you got to the blue and gold, I just want to hear a little bit from you about your quarantine activities in March. Everything was kind of thrown into a little bit of a knot where everyone was sent home, and just wanted to get to know what were some of your quarantine activities or quarantine routine.
Yeah, initially it was exciting to kind of have a little bit of downtime. Of course, we were upset that our spring season was canceled, but understandably so because of what the nation and our state is facing in terms of this pandemic. Personally, I was continuing doing work for the program, but on the side, I got into camping this summer quite a bit. The White Mountain Range is only about 2 hours from the city of Boston, so it's an excellent place to go hike and just pitch a tent and relax. So I did a little bit of that. I'm also an avid Nintendo fan, so I got back into Zelda Breath of the Wild. Little plug there for that. I can get lost in that world playing video games for a little bit. So those are some of the things I did this summer.
Absolutely, that sounds like a joy, and I could definitely attest to getting lost in those video game worlds as well. Before we get to your time with the Rams and time building a program and leading it to success, I wanted to just hear from you maybe your path to Suffolk, where it started as, whether it be a well-recognized player in Division III at Rochester, to your time coaching at Rochester. Just give me a little bit of background of how you got to the 617.
Yeah. It's been a long path to Suffolk and a joyous one at that. I graduated from college thinking I would maybe be in the educational field somewhere. Had an opportunity to teach English as a second language in Germany, and I loved teaching and working with young people, but I didn't love English as much. So I thought, I want to teach a curriculum that I'm passionate about, and that's soccer. So, coaching at Rochester was the perfect opportunity. I spent a long time there, as a player and as an assistant coach, and I learned a ton from our head coach there and others in the field. And I, really got to the point where I was ready to try my hand at leading my own program. And when actually this position opened up here at Suffolk, I took one look and I thought, this is perfect. Being in a major city, getting the opportunity to build a program, right from the bottom up, where it's not that, we have these, other traditions that we have to hold to. Really having a group where we can come together and decide for ourselves how we want to play and who we want to be. That was just such an exciting opportunity for me. I couldn't pass it up.
Absolutely. And you touched a little bit about how building a team and building a program itself, because when you first came to Suffolk, obviously you were working with the players that you had, and you were able to get some recruiting done and bring in some new players to the squad and whatnot. But I want to ask you, with the importance of having a team working around maybe your coaching philosophy or the way you want to play the game, or whether or not it's getting your group of players playing the best way that they can with the skills that they have. I wanted to get your opinion on whether or not you're more of trying to mold the players into what you want the team to look like, or maybe changing your thought process and philosophy to get the team going in the best way that they can.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the short answer is you're doing both. Of course, I've got, an idea in my head about how I want us to play, and all the different attributes that each player would have to do to fit into that style of play or that system of play. Realistically, though, you have to look at your strengths and play to those strengths. So, one thing that, our team is really quality in is we've got pace up top, and we've got some really, incredible players who can thread entry balls. So I took a look at that and I said, okay, we're going to be a team that's really dangerous without the ball. And we're going to exploit another team's potential disorganization. So that's been a style of play that our team has really, really latched onto. And that's something that if you come watch a Suffolk women's soccer match, you'll see that identity within our team. We're always going to be continuing to recruit and continuing to build individual skills so that we can get to that level that I have in my head of, my ideal style and system. But ultimately, it's really about making sure that I'm accentuating whatever strengths our current players have and continuing to push them up to that next level.
Absolutely. And you briefly mentioned in that response kind of a coaching style. And I wanted to ask you, how is that coaching style influenced as a well-recognized player from your playing time? You had a lot of chance to step on the field and lead a defensive back line and get everyone organized. But I wanted to ask, is it something that you picked up your personal philosophy within your playing career, or is it something that you realized as an assistant coach and at your time at Rochester?
Yeah, I would say, I draw on all influences. I might even take something from pop culture and throw it in there if I think it'll work. I mean, it's really, really about, a lot of what informs me is my experience both as a player and as an assistant and now as a head coach. I think about some of the activities and some of the things that I did as a player that I really enjoyed. Even some of the stuff I didn't has helped inform me what not to do at times. So I think, you're really kind of cribbing together, information from all different sources, as many as possible. If I read an interesting thing in a novel, maybe that's going to inspire the team to the next level. So, you're really kind of soaking up everything you can. I think a lot of my coaching is from when I was a player. I was someone who, if you had me out on the field for 2.5 hours, I wasn't going to be that happy because I want things to fly by. I want to get on with my day. And we're, as college students, they're doing so many other things that I remember as a student feeling like, I want a quick practice. I want to get in and out and be able to feel like I've accomplished something. So that's one thing that I've really taken and tried to, we only train for about 90 minutes. If I can keep getting it down, maybe 80 minutes, 70 minutes, that's something I'm really trying to push myself to be able to do.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you sharing that philosophy with everyone for the podcast as well, because it's always different from every single coach, whether or not how they want to set their team up and what they want to do. But with that team being said, last year was a great success in just your second season with the program. Originally picked 10th in the coaches preseason poll and shocked many people to finish 4th, posting 10 wins, 8 of those wins being shutouts or clean sheets. I want you to just take me, what were some of your reactions to last year's success? Did you expect this group to defy odds and what everyone else from the outside was maybe saying and not maybe seeing you as a threat in the GNAC?
Right. Yeah, we believed. And I think our success in 2019 truly started in 2018. When that group that I first had, really adapted to what I wanted us to do, both, within the lines of the field and outside the lines of the field. And I think, building that foundation in 2018, they could see how close we were. They could really feel, hey, coach, we're only 1 or 2 goals off of that program who's considered maybe a top GNAC program. So, a lot of that 2019 success dates back to 2018 where they were like, coach, we are like fingertips away from some of these other programs that we want to be above. So I think coming into 2019, it was really about continuing that belief and reminding ourselves we're not far off. And completely ignoring the preseason polls for sure is a big help in that. We know that, sometimes people vote however they vote. And I think, it only served to motivate our team to feel like, you know what, you haven't really seen everything that Suffolk has to offer. And I give a ton of credit to the team for being able to produce it on field, in pressurized situations. I mean, it's a testament to their work.
Absolutely. And that work not only paid off to the team's success, but you yourself were recognized for your hard work. You were awarded the GNAC Coach of the Year. What were your immediate reactions? And now reflecting close to a year later, what were your reactions to that nomination and award?
Oh, it was just so cool. I let out a woo, basically when I first found out. And then immediately, on behalf of our staff, we've got our grad assistant, Lindsay, who does tremendous work for us. Steve, our goalkeeping volunteer coach, is just phenomenal. So I was so proud to accept the award on their behalf. I really do think, it's a testament to our team absorbing the curriculum and having the courage to put it out onto the field. And that I'll stand by that because, every coach, no matter what program you're at, no matter what sport you're in, we all have ideas. We all have ways of, things that we want to see on the field or on the court or on the pitch. And it's down to the team and their belief in those ideas and their trust in your guidance and their ability to execute. So, I was just over the moon that our group was able to really come through in that.
And I'm looking forward to the success that comes in further the year. And speaking of, the Rams have now transitioned to the Commonwealth Coast Conference and moving to the CCC. I wanted to just hear from you. What are some of your hopes switching conferences as well, finishing off potentially one of the best seasons that the Rams have had in the past decade in the GNAC, and now looking forward to 2020 and 2021 and years beyond in the CCC? What are you hoping for, and what do you expect entering the new conference?
Yeah, I first and foremost, I expect our players to continue to be hungry. One great season in 2019 is not enough. I want more. I hope that they want more. I want us to, continue attacking every challenge as much as possible. We know that the CCC is going to bring us greater challenges as we go forward. So, I want and I hope that our team is excited about it. I want folks in our program to be rubbing their hands together at the thought of going up against some of these CCC programs because, we already know that, the road just got a little bit steeper. But I really expect our program to be, excited about that next level challenge for sure.
And I look forward to when that challenge does begin. Coach Van Vechten, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cam. It's been a pleasure and always wonderful to see you.
Absolutely, you as well. Ram Nation, if you liked what you heard today on Suffolk Sounds, be sure to visit our website, GoSuffolkRams.com. That's GoSufffolk.com, where you can find all you need to know about Suffolk athletics. While you're at it, be sure to follow the Rams on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the same name for an insider's look. Don't forget to subscribe, like, rate us, and leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening to the Suffolk Athletics official show. Send in your questions. Who would you like to hear from next, whether it be a player or a coach? We'll be sure to bring something new to every single show. In fact, be sure to tune into our next episode when we talk to Suffolk head men's basketball coach, Jeff Duran. Until then, I'm Cam Brennan, everyone. See you soon, Ram Nation. This has been Suffolk Sounds. Don't forget to subscribe, like, rate, and review however you listen to your podcast.